Hello, it's bright and early at end of August and I am doing a changing out of one of the beds. So this bed behind me has had French beans in it. I'm taking out all those beans and I'm going to put in some brassicas and some beetroot, and I'm just going to give that bed a chance of giving us a different harvest. So I've started already taking out some of the beans. I'm harvesting all the beans that are on the plants, and there's going to be quite a lot of space between the flowers. So I'm leaving the flowers in here, I'm leaving the dill in here, but in between all of those there's plenty of space to put in some brassicas and that beetroot. Well, that can go to the ducks. If I wasn't going to be using that bed for other plants this season, I would have just chopped these down, left them on the bed to rot down in situ. But I'm using it, so these are going into the compost bin. There are some dahlias planted along the edge here, and I'm going to pop those up so that they don't interfere with the netting going on. And then I emptied the last of the first compost heap I'd made here and put that onto the bed and spread that out nicely. And then I got some more of the black hoops and put those in and put the netting over it. But as yet I haven't got the wooden pieces that go on the floor to hold the netting down. I'm going to get those right now, because one of the things that can happen really easily if you've got netting over your bed is that birds can get in and then they can't get out. So if you're going to put netting on your bed, make sure that you've got wood or pins or something to hold the edges down so that there's no chance of any birds getting in. There's one. While I was moving things around just then, I noticed we've got a really pretty little caterpillar in amongst the weeds. I don't know what it is, so I'm going to have to look it up, but it's really colourful. I've got sidetracked again, but I do need a cuppa. However, I've just found in the polytunnel some seriously big cucumbers. Look at these boys. If you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to hit that little bell icon, because then you'll get a notification each time I put out a new video. It's a couple of days later and I still haven't planted up that bed with the cabbages and the beetroot yet, because I think the cabbages still look a little bit too small. And my concern is if I plant them when they're really small, slugs and snails are going to get at them and that will be the end of them. So I'm going to leave it another week or so for them to grow in their modules in the polytunnel. But in the meantime, I have been busy doing other stuff. And I say I, and I don't really mean me. This week, I asked Dave, who comes and helps me do all kind of stuff in the garden that I can't physically do or don't want to do, and that Mr. J hasn't got time to do. So we have put on a roof onto the compost system in the veg garden. So I've got 3 bays created from pallets. Couldn't find the word then. We put posts into the ground. Dave and I did this quite a long time ago. We put posts into the ground, and then we put these, which are usually used for post and rail fencing. We attached them, we screwed them onto the posts that are in the ground, which gave them some stability. We built a framework around the top, and then on Friday we've now got a cover on the composting area, which means that we've got a super dry area for creating compost. Well, that's not actually true. It's rained during the night, the rain has come in this direction, and so it's actually quite damp in here, but I don't have a problem with that. Compost does need some water. It just doesn't need is to be constantly soaked with rain, which will just wash out all the nutrients. So this is a kind of halfway thing. It's going to get rain in from the front, and from the sides. I might spin around a little bit. The ends there, those sides, I might put some sort of covering on that as well. The wind and the rain mostly comes in this direction. So anyway, a little bit of playing still left to do, but I'm super, super pleased with this. And now if I do a fairly snazzy lean outwards, you can see the guttering behind me on the lower end of this roof. And behind me here, you can see that we've had to piece some of the panels together. So the two at this end were absolutely fine. We had to cut one of those to length. Maybe we had to cut both of them a little bit to length. And then these pieces here were riveted together to give us enough length. But anyway, I'm very, very pleased. I'm glad we were able to recycle stuff. And here is a down pipe for rainwater collection. So we got this guttering in our previous home. It was given to us by a company who were changing the style of their guttering, and so we're getting rid of a whole load of it. So we've got plenty of pipe work, the gutter pipes, loads of fixings, the end bits and then bits that attach to it, curves, sort of changes in shape. We've got lots and lots of it to use. So here's the first piece. Guttering is in place. Gosh, I'm pleased with this. And now I need to either bring up a rain barrel or better still, I need to get an IBC to attach the bottom of this to collect as much rainwater as we can. And we're fractionally downhill from the veg garden, but that's okay. We're not downhill from the flower garden, and I'm hoping that I might be able to get a small solar pump that will pump the water from the IBC up to the veg garden, and that shouldn't be a problem because a friend has got one that they're giving us, so they're going to be recycling that as well. This is the time of year when I start doing a serious amount of batch cooking. When I'm harvesting lots from the garden, I then take everything into the kitchen and cook as many meals as I can to put in the freezer, and I'm doing as much as I can this month before electricity prices go up in October. So that batch cooking also means I've got to do quite a lot of harvesting. So it really is a month of kind of changing what's in the garden and the feel of it. So I've just come through to the food forest and to the rose arch, which isn't purely roses. So I've got all my beans growing up it this year. These are the Greek gigantes beans. I'm really pleased with how well this has worked. So this is the rose arch that I got from direct plants. You can find them as direct plants or direct polytunnels. And then I've added in some bamboo canes to grow the beans up. They are doing really well. These are not for harvesting as pods. I just wait until the pods are fully ripe and then harvest the bean that's on the inside of them. So I was just coming to see if there were any that looked really ready for harvesting, but I think we're a month or so away, and maybe even a bit longer. And in fact, there are still some very tiny beans just coming. So I'm pleased about that. They are still growing nicely. And in the meantime, I'm getting to enjoy just how beautiful the rose arch is. Here in the Duxfield, which is also set out as an orchard, I'm beginning to look at some of the trees and try and work out whether fruit is ripe for picking. Now I'm standing here merrily showing you this amazing pear tree, which is only put in this year, and it's got masses of fruit on it. And the way to tell if pears are ripe is or if they're ready to pick, is just to gently lift them to the horizontal position, If they come away in your hand, they are ready to take inside. You don't need to pull at them at all. If they're ready, they'll just come away gently in your hand once they've got to the horizontal position. So this is actually the only tree in the orchard this year producing fruit. So you will no doubt see this one on more than one occasion. And there was just one pair that, as I took it to the horizontal position, it came away in my hand. So I'm going to take this in, leave it for a few days to finish ripening in the kitchen, and then Mr. J and I will be sharing this one. So I'm harvesting almost daily in the polytunnel, taking the tomatoes out of here. Sweet corn isn't quite ready yet, and there are beetroot and cucumbers in here as well. So I'm taking those each day as I need them. And out in the garden, I'm harvesting little and often so I can keep on cooking. And so here we are at the freezer room at the end of my second day of batch cooking. So here I've got a load of cow, and then further down here there is a drawer full of ready prepared meals. This one is 50-50. Some of them are ready prepared meals and some of them are sauces. And then in the winter, all we need to do is take meals out of the freezer and leave them to defrost, and then they'll be ready for us to heat up. And so, wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for today, I hope it's a good one. And I also hope you'll join me again next time.